Radio Rahim with Johnny Nelson. Let me tell you, this is always like my favorite part of fight week. Whenever I get Johnny on the mic, on the camera, it's the best time. Even when we disagree, it's a swell time, and we got a lot to talk about.
I see shows all over the world, and you pop up suit and booted looking slick. And I think, I know him. I know him. I know that, brother.
You
inspired him. One thing I got to say is, you look good. You've lost weight, look trim. It makes you look younger. You look fresher, man. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because I'm telling you now, it looks good, Billy Ray.
Thank you. You know what? I'm gonna tell the world what I stopped doing. I stopped drinking, Johnny. I put the sauce down and got a little bit more, cut with the meat.
Yeah.
So
That's good. You know what? You gotta do that, because at the end of the day, your health's your wealth, and it's no matter what. If you create those habits now, it'll be a habit for life.
I'm around all of these athletes and yourself, and I had to be like, you know what? Let me step my game up here. Let me get smart. So let me talk to one of the smartest guys that I know about the sport. First of all, we've got obviously this. We were here for Eubank Smith, and we're back for Smith Eubank. How does this fight on Saturday night differ from what we saw many Saturday nights ago?
So now there's no doubt. Whereas before, publicly he's had they said I'll beat you, but they didn't know they'd get beaten. Now Chris knows Liam has a beating of him, and now Liam knows he can beat him. Now he knows he can actually knock him out and hurt him. So now there's when we did the gloves are off, Chris had to be very humble and with himself, because of all the things he was saying, filleting him, and 60% coming in with a KFC jacket. Now he had to humble himself up. And I've got to give it to him, because he was in the eye of the storm. He was getting roasted by Liam to say this, that, and the other. And he took it. He took it well. Liam came down by himself from Liverpool, got the train down, got the tube across to the studio, walked in himself. Chris there with his crew. This shows the confidence of this young man. What difference would there be? The difference is this. If Chris goes in there doing exactly with the same attitude, the same game plan he had the last time, he's going to get turned over. He's saying, it was a shot in a million, you got hit with the elbow. So why should he change it? Common sense tells you this. He had cameos of success when he stood there and he took it to him, because Chris is naturally very fit, and they'll stand there and have a tear up and let the shots go. This is what he wants to do. He wants to throw the dice, man, because he can't go in there and try and outsmart a guy that's got more boxing experience than him, more boxing technique. Boxing. I'm not fighting boxing technique than technique than him. So now Chris has got to bring Chris in. Chris has got to do what he does well. My concern is this: Chris changed trainers 4.5 weeks ago. I don't like seeing that with fighters, because it doesn't give him a chance to develop a true relationship with your coach, where the coach knows your weaknesses, your strengths, when you're good, when you're bad, when you're faking it, when you're bluffing it. So him doing that 4.5 weeks, if it is 4.5 weeks, it means on all he's probably had 15, maybe 20 good sessions with him to understand him, because the rest of that time he'd have to spend at least a week or so understanding his language, understanding what he means by, some trainers might use a different terminology. Dance, relax, whatever. And you're thinking, what do you mean by that? You want me to do a soul spin? Dance is mean relax, get your arms out, move. So it's going to take about a week for them to understand the terminology your coach uses. That's number one. Number two, the last week before this week now, you're not doing anything. So that's cut down to, so let's say we've got 2.5 weeks of true work, technical work. So therefore, in that 2.5 weeks, they'll probably train together, probably technical work together, probably 5 days a week. So that's 15, 20 times. What is he going to learn in such a big fight? Just being with a man 15, 20 times. What I'm saying to you is, it's telling me Chris is not learning. He's not learning, he's to listen. David Beckham wouldn't be David Beckham without Sir Alex Ferguson. Prince Nassim Hamid wouldn't have been Prince Nassim Hamid without Brendan Ingle. The story. So all these fighters that say I can do it myself, I don't need anybody. It doesn't work. And he's gotten Chris to a certain level, but if he wants to be at the level he truly wants to be, as in a world champion, stamped in the history books, he's got to listen. He's got to commit. He's got to commit to a coach and say, you know what, coach? When you say jump, I'm not going to say, well, I'll do it in a bit or how high. I'm just going to jump. This is the mindset he needs to have, and this is the one thing he'll understand what he should have done in about 5-10 years' time.
It sounds like you see Chris Eubank is really up against it. Are you calling the fight for Smith?
Yeah, I think it's repeat. May not happen this early, but it's repeat. Because the things I'm hearing in camp, from people in camp, are not good. You know what I mean? They're not good. I'm thinking, nah, if that's right, man, what have you learned? What are you doing? And listen, I understand his father, and I've got a lot of respect for Senior. As a fighter, his successes and everything he does. His father said, we don't need trainers. We do it ourselves. I understand that. Very few people can do that. Very few people can do that. And if you want to truly be the best, the most astute out there, you always need somebody that's there. Chris was world champion, but there were certain fighters, he said, no, you know what? I'm going to leave you alone. You know what I mean? But Chris has also got to look at his son. His son is like him. He's strong-minded. He wants to be an individual. He wants to be his own man. So unfortunately, if Chris is not happy with how his son is being, he's got to blame himself because that's his boy. The apple don't fall far from the tree. So and unfortunately, Junior's going to learn the lesson 5-10 years after he's finished boxing and think, shit, I should have done this, shit, I should have done that. Senior was a one-off. Senior was unique to get to the level he got to, and with that attitude to say, I don't need a coach.
What are you hearing about training camp beyond the lack of a coach there that's giving you the most concern?
Concern is sparring. Concern is commitment to work ethic. Now, if I say who and what, they'll know where the information is coming from. I don't like hearing this, so I'm thinking, and Chris might, listen, he's got to this far in his career, but I think with that mindset that he's got, he will always be this far. He's got to change the mindset because he's a talented young man. Clever, he's created. Listen, he got knocked out in the last fight. We're doing the same fight again on pay-per-view. This is because of Chris. Chris don't have to retire after this because he'll fight Conor Benn. You know what I mean? So therefore, what will happen is, Chris has got that appeal to make you love him and loathe him, but you still want to watch it. You understand? So he's got a talent that most fighters haven't got. But if you marry that with success and you make yourself that better fighter, then this guy he will probably put himself in the history books. But unfortunately, I don't think he's learned his lesson. And listen, this is coming from a good place because I like Junior. I like him. I've got a lot of time for it. But if I'm your friend, I don't mean me and him are cool, like we're friends. What I'm saying is, it's coming from a good place. I'm telling you something for your own good. I don't get no benefits out of saying things that undermine or disrespect you. I'm saying this because I'm an ex-fighter, and I'm telling you something. And I'm trying to give you advice from my perspective, like your dad's trying to give you advice from his perspective. I understand you want to be your own man. What I'm saying is, look where you are, look what you've done, look what you've achieved, and you're not listening. So can you imagine if you did listen? Can you imagine where you'd be? And that's what I'm trying to get through to him.
As an ex-fighter, you saw the punch heard round the world. Daniel Dubois lands the belt line punch. Half the people I talk to say it's a low blow. The other half of people say it's a legal shot and Daniel got cheated out of world championship status. What do you say?
I'll be clear with it. I don't think the shot was low. A low blow is below the navel, on the hip, in the groin, in the seat bag. That's a low blow. If you're hit on the waistband of where the protector was that you can see sticking above, so you got the protector then, and it's in the gut, you sew it. So it's like tennis when you see the replay of a ball, is it out, is it in? And the ball will be just on the edge of the line, and the shadow will be out. So that was the glove, the shadow was out. That didn't hit him. The full force of the shot was in the stomach. And the reaction from Usyk was an instant hurt, he was hurt. But you got to rate Usyk. Usyk is an all-round fighter where he capitalized and played the game, played it well. Don't blame the player, blame the game. And he milked it, and the referee bought it. Because I tell you now, if the referee started counting, Usyk would have got his arse up. And even though he's hurt, he'd have tried and run, he'd have hustled, he'd been able to do that. Why do people think Daniel would have won? I don't understand. That was controversial, was it a low blow or not? But what I'm saying is Usyk took advantage of human error. The referee thought, yeah, that was low. We've all got hindsight now, the fight's over and watching replays. That wasn't low. The referee had to make an instant decision then. You can't bring instant replay in boxing now because it messes up the momentum of a fight. So what I'm saying is, Usyk played the game and he milked it. He was hurt from the body shot, and he got the 5 minutes. The problem in boxing is this: boxing is not like football. If I flick you on the ear in football and you roll about 15 times, the referee will give my man a yellow card and get you the advantage, place the ball where it is, and it gets you a better advantage in the sport. Boxing is not that. You can't do that in boxing because even fighters, it's disrespectful to the game itself. And that's why people are pissed off, because you're thinking, yo, we don't do that shit. But you know what? Usyk still ended up winning. Usyk got what he wanted. Don't blame him. It's the game. You know, that's the situation. So what I'm saying to you is, number one, if the referee had counted on, Usyk would have got up, without a doubt. What makes people think Daniel Dubois would have beaten that round? Why do people think that? And then after that, and it moved on, and Usyk still ended up beating him up and stopping it. And Daniel went down. Daniel wasn't knocked down. Daniel went down. There's a difference. If I hit you and that hit makes you land on your backside, on whatever, I've knocked you down. If I hit you, so whoa, hold on a minute, and your hands go down first, and you're down, and you get up at 9. If you can get up at 9, you can get up at 8. Now promoters should stick to talking about promoting. Managers should stick to talking about managing. Trainers should stick to talking about training, and maybe a bit of insight on fighters. Fighters should talk about that. It's not for no managers to say, oh, he quit, oh, he just that. That's bullshit. Because I can't go to no promoter and say, tell him how to do his job, because I ain't a promoter. So promoters, don't be coming to fight and say, he quit, he this. You've got no right to say that. I'm an ex-fighter. Daniel got the fight beaten out of him, and he made a decision to say, you know what, this man's got the better than me, and it was a hard decision. Got the better than me. I'm out. I'm checking out of that. So don't tell me this boy quit, because unless you have fought, you are not in a position to speak so harshly about a fighter, but you can just have an opinion. And the problem is, and this is why I said with Anthony Joshua, the problem was this: he's a lion listening to donkeys. You understand? So unless someone's walked in your shoes and done what you've done, if they're a spectator and they're a speculator, pay them no mind, because you're the one that's putting the work in. So what I'm saying, what happened with Daniel is Daniel made the decision to say, this man has got the better of me. There's nothing more I can do. If you get up at 9, you can get up at 8. And that's it. And that's the situation, how I saw the fight.
And for Usyk's sake, he took advantage of the situation, but integrity, sportsmanship, you feel like he failed that test.
And that's what he lost. That's what he lost. And you know what? And no matter what, even if he looks at it, he knows if he was hit low. He knows. He's got to live with that. You know what? And he can do. Because, he still won. He's still a winner. He's still a world champion. But he took advantage of the game. Don't blame the player. Blame the game.
Does that performance inform you about Fury Usyk, or change the way you calibrate that fight?
That has not changed my opinion on Fury Usyk at all. Because even before that, I thought Fury would beat Usyk. The only person that think, by the looks of it, the only person that didn't think Fury would beat Usyk seems to be Fury. But I bet now, he was watching that fight and he'd be like, shit, I bet all of a sudden, conversations and negotiations about that fight now happening are now taking place. Whereas before, it's like, nah, that's done. It's not happening. Shit, watch me. I'm telling you, watch it in a few weeks' time. Oh, that conversation's there. It's not changed my opinion at all. I always thought Tyson Fury would have the better of Usyk, even though Usyk, he's slick, he's skilled, he's small, and everything he's got. Tyson Fury is big enough and unorthodox enough to give this man hellfire, and powerful enough to knock him out.
And now that he's seen Usyk's performance, you think that it makes Fury want the fight that he once didn't want?
Yeah, man. And that's what I'm saying to you. And listen, I know Tyson Fury loves our game. I watched his Netflix thing, and it showed Usyk fighting Anthony Joshua. This time my man's retired. He sat there, and you can see he's itching. Like, all of a sudden he come out of retirement. I'm telling you now, he'd have watched that fight and be pissed, and think, shit. Give it time. Give it a couple of weeks. See what he says about it. Let's see how it goes.
We'll get it made with the fighting words from a fighting man. Radio Rahim with Johnny Nelson.